Hi, it's Crystal here, your nature-inspired relationship coach, out for one of my gorgeous autumn walks with Theo, my dog. Just show you him. Theo, say hello. Not interested, never is. Why would he be? Anyway, what I want to talk to you about today is collaboration and how important that can be in your relationship. Because very often I see couples for relationship coaching where one or both partners complain that the other person isn't helping them enough. That could be helping with the general household chores, helping with the kids, or more kind of general complaints such as just not feeling supported, or emotionally, on an emotional level, not just giving them what they need. And I don't know if you ever feel this with your partner. Do you ever feel like your partner doesn't understand you or give you the emotional support that you need, doesn't really get where you're coming from? And generally just isn't reacting or behaving in a way that you would want them to behave, that you feel like there's something missing in your relationship, you're not getting it, they're not understanding what it is that you need, and you don't feel like you're being fulfilled. Because that's something that's really, really common to the couples that I see for relationship coaching. But the other thing that these couples who do have that complaint have in common is the fact that they also assume that their partner should know what it is that they want. So I don't know if you feel unfulfilled in your relationship. If there's a part of you that feels like your partner should just know what it is that you want without you having to spell it out for them. You might even say things like, if they knew me, they would just know. If they love me, they would just do what I want them to do. I shouldn't have to explain myself. If they cared about me at all, I wouldn't have to spell this out. They would just know exactly what it is that I want them to do. And it might even seem really simple to you. It might even seem very black and white. And it might be that you've even told them before that you are frustrated. But I wonder whether you've actually spelt out to them what it is that you actually want from them. Because I think the mistake lots of couples make is that you assume that your partner knows what it is that you want them to do. That you assume that your partner sees things the same way as you do. And that you assume that if they don't, that means that they don't care. And that's a really big set of assumptions to make, and they're often wrong. Now, the reason that is I've talked before about how we all have different perspectives on life, on the world, on how things should be, on how other people are and should be. That all comes from our core beliefs, and our core beliefs are shaped by our early childhood experiences, our environment, our social experiences, our previous relationships. There are all these different components that actually give us the worldview that we look through. So we all have these different lenses through which we view the world, and we all have slightly different coloured lenses. And so the way I view the world is not the same way that you view the world. And the way your partner views the world is not the same way that you view the world. And there might just be slight subtle differences, but how that translates in a relationship is basically that the things that are important to you might not be as important to your partner. The values that you have, the behaviours that you think are acceptable or unacceptable just might differ slightly from your partner's, and the reasons for those will be different too. So sometimes we make those assumptions, but the assumptions that we make about our partner and how our partner should behave are only based on our own worldview, which of course is different from our partner's. So can you see where the miscommunication can happen? So we're making assumptions that our partner doesn't care, but it might just be that they really do need it spelling out. And I think the reason that we tend to make those assumptions, apart from just believing our partner has the same worldview as us, I think sometimes we associate that with caring, because when we were babies, we didn't have to explain to our mother or our parents what it was that we needed. We would just cry, and we'd have an instinct to reach out to get our needs met, and our parents would have an instinct to provide those to meet those needs. And if our parents didn't know what our cry was for, they would work it out. They'd either know instinctively or they'd work it out. And I think we associate that's our first ever bond, and so we believe that that's how love should be. Quite often we grow up thinking that love should be intuitive too, just like that parental bond. Now that's a really important bond, that first bond, the parental bond, but it's based on a child and parent relationship. And romantic relationships should be adult to adult, so you don't have that same intuition automatically. So of course, over time, if you really get to know each other well, you can be more intuitive in your relationship, and you can make reasonable assumptions about what your partner wants because you know them really well. But don't always assume. The message I'm trying to give you today is don't assume that your partner knows what you want, and don't assume that you know what they want, because in an adult to adult romantic relationship, you just sometimes need to spell it out. And you need to recognise that you're both individuals with different points of view, different experiences, different expectations, different needs. And all of this can be overcome. All you need to do is to be able to communicate effectively and to be able to say what you want in a way that isn't as it's an attack on your partner, in a way that isn't criticising what they're not doing. Just ask them what you want and what you would like them to do. So if you'd like to know more about how to do that, come to my website, which is www.crystalwoodbridge.com. That's Krystal woodbridge.com. And there you can download my free communication guide for couples, and you can also contact me to inquire about any of my coaching packages for couples that I have that you can do online or in person. There are so many different ways I can help you. I'd love to speak to you about how I can help you. Come to crystalwoodbridge.com. Speak soon. Bye.